managing hair loss while on Tirzepatide, Zepbound, and Mounjaro. We're going to talk about, is hair loss a common side effect of taking Mounjaro, Zepbound, Tirzepatide? Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth. Countess of shopping. I've lost over 91 pounds and have been on Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, and Zepbound and compound for the last year and a half plus, losing over 91 more than that pounds. And on today's episode, I want you to walk away with solutions if you're having hair loss and to be more educated to talk to your healthcare provider about hair loss, because it's actually quite common to have hair loss while being on a GLP-1 medication. And so many people in my free encouragement group have asked about this. And so I wanted to do an update on video, A, that was scientifically based. I will cite all of my sources down in the description link below. And B, for you to have topics to talk to your healthcare provider. This is not medical advice. I am not a healthcare provider. Simply my experience, strength, and hope of having walked through hair loss with GLP-1 medication and what's worked well for me and what has not worked well for me. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I want to make sure I give you that promise. First and foremost, Mounjaro hair loss. It started off, when I first started a year and a half ago, I started on Mounjaro. Then evolved to Zepbound, and because of these continuous GLP-1 shortages, have gone on to Tirzepatide compound, back to Zepbound. I mean, it's been a whole thing. So if you're on any of those medications, we are speaking the same language, even if SEMAGLUTIDE or WEGOVY, friends. GLP-1 medications, and I'm going to pull up Harvard over here. I got all my sources down below. We're going to talk NIH and Harvard studies as references in here, that having any sort of significant weight loss, and for me, it was rapid. Within that first, if you're taking Zepbound 2.5 milligrams or Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, that first few months for me, I lost a ton of weight really quickly. Now being on it a year and a half, I don't have that weight loss. Sorry, this was the picture I want to show. I lost a ton of weight because I had a ton of weight to lose, right? I'm on a 100-pound plus weight loss journey. For me, it rapidly came off quickly. And so what happens, this is very, very common, and this is what you want to talk to your healthcare provider more about. It's called telogen, and I'm going to mispronounce it, telogen, and I even practiced the pronunciation before I came on. Telogen ethylenium. Telogen ethylenium. That's basically, and my source is Harvard Education. I'll link that down below. It's a common form of hair loss 2 to 3 months after a major body stress, this telogen ethylenium. So what's happening is you may start Mounjaro, you may start Zepbound, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling great. This is wonderful. Or even if you're on the Tirzepatide compound and you see 2 to 3 months into it, so maybe you start in January, you see in January, February, March, April, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm having clumps of hair come out while I'm taking my shower. Holy gazolies, what is going on here? Why is this happening to me? Well, basically, your body's gone under a major stress. It's gone under that telogen ethylenium. It's gone under that. And that can happen after a sudden hormone change of levels. And this, by the way, P.S., this happens to women after childbirth. I don't know if you've had kids or not, or your partner has had kids. I distinctly remember this after childbirth being like, clumps of hair were coming out in the drain. And it wasn't like this. It was way more than this. It wasn't even that much. A couple of things, because I do not want to be henny penny ever. I always want to give scientifically accurate, be motivational, encouraging, and solution oriented. I did realize part of this, what during my journey was definitely, it was because of significant weight loss. So like that's to be clear. But part of this was, I also started changing my hair habits as I got healthier. I did healthier hygiene habits. And so I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, so please don't judge me, but the way that I would take care of my hair was different as I've gone along this weight loss journey. And so not washing my hair as much, because it actually makes your hair healthier by doing that, and with my scalp and things like doing things like that. My hygiene habits changed slightly with my hair to make my hair healthier. But if I wasn't washing my hair every day or every other day, when I would wash it, major hair would come out. And so it's because I wasn't washing my hair as frequently and I wasn't brushing it out the way that I was. That was part of it. That came like, I don't know, like a few months back. And after a friend and I were talking about it, and she's like, you haven't had a substantial weight loss where it was like crazy numbers I was making at the beginning of my GLP-1 journey. She's like, that's because you just changed your hair care routine, which is true because I use more dry shampoos and things like that. So, which by the way, I'll link down on my Amazon list all the things I'm going to be talking about. I do use dry shampoo. I did use dry shampoo with hair loss because it volumized the crown of your head. I'm going to keep touching the top of my head, but that's where you put it. And I would use the spray kind that was brown. Sometimes they show up white. And so if you see on past videos, you'll see this whiteness on there. Some of it's gray. Let's keep it real. Some of it was gray, but some of it was the hair product to help volumize my hair, and that made the hair loss look less because it was puffed up a little bit more with that. So just FYI, dry shampoos, I have several. I'll link them on my Amazon beauty list down below, in addition to all of these hair loss things that we're going to talk about. So knowing just straight out of the gate, like having hair loss, it's actually quite normal. So it takes 2 to 3 months with this telogen ethylenium to see that stress. And then it's going to take probably realistically another 2 to 3 months for it to go away, because it's going to take a hot second. But talk to your doctor, right? Like talk to your healthcare provider, because again, this is not medical advice. Having your blood panels, super important. I work with Join Fridays, and so they make us do blood panels. If you want to switch over to them, they're an awesome telehealth company that prescribes Zepbound, any sort of chronic obesity management treatment, Zepbound, WEGOVY, compounds, and they prescribe brand names and compounds. I'll link that down below. Use the discount code QUEEN. They make me do blood panels. So therefore, we're checking to see, for example, low iron. Low iron can contribute to hair loss, right? And so how would you know that if you weren't having a blood panel? You know what I mean? So if you haven't had a blood panel done recently, that would be action item number 2 to focus in on, to see if there's some of these other things that can be contributing to hair loss. Next, we're going to go over to an NIH study. I found this fascinating, by the way. So we know straight out of the gate that hair loss can happen because of a major stressor. And so a major stressor can be weight loss, not just Zepbound weight loss or Mounjaro weight loss, not just GLP-1 weight loss, like bariatric patients, or if you did like Atkins or any sort of substantial weight loss. People on keto had this frequently because they would lose so much weight very quickly in a short period of time. And so that shows up 2 to 3 months later. So if you're wondering, I've been on this for months and now I'm seeing it, well, that was what was happening when you were having that rapid from, again, a non-healthcare provider, simply like my experience, strength, and hope with that. So there is and I'll link this down below. It's from the National Institutes of Health. Again, I always want to cite scientifically based sources, not woo-woo, but like scientific facts. It is talking about in here, in the study that was done, one of the iron that I just mentioned, if you have too much selenium, that can contribute to hair loss. So this is what I'm saying, like, this is why having a blood panel, super, super important on there too. Talking about zinc has been linked with hair fall, like zinc has been linked to some things too. So like checking your blood panels to make sure all those levels are good. But it's talking about the Mediterranean diet and hair loss treatment. And so I found this fascinating too, that it was actually in this NIH study that they did, talking about how the Mediterranean diet can actually help with hair loss. And so specifically they went into olive oil. And so I have a great high quality olive oil. They're actually based here in Virginia, which is how I found out about them. A viewer had told me about them and I was like, oh, I went to their facility. They're Greek actually, and they own 500 acres of olive trees and orchards and make really high quality olive oil. It's expensive. It's not like cheap stuff. If you go, for example, I did a long time ago a Dollar Tree haul. The olive oil at Dollar Tree, for example, is actually not olive oil. It has other garbage added into it. So you're going, for any olive oil you use, check the back labels on there to make sure it's like 100% olive oil. But this specific type that they're talking about in this study is talking about, and I'm going to blow how you pronounce it. I'll link it down below. Polyphenol, it's Polyphenols. So having those in there, basically in really high quality olive oil, it's actually was showing how in many studies, plants coming from flavonoids are promising in terms of reducing hair loss or stimulating hair growth. So helping reduce it. And then also if you do have it, making it come back or helping it come back, right? Because once you notice it, you're like, how does it come back? So for me, I've been incorporating this high quality olive oil. I didn't bring it in the studio. It's expensive, but oh my gosh. And this NIH study was linking it too about how Mediterranean diet and how it's helpful. I'm looking down at the study right now. How it's actually very helpful for that too. So maybe that's something that you do, of start incorporating in more olive oil. I'll link it down below, their direct website, and then also the Amazon link. I know they do sell on Amazon. They have 2 different kinds. One is like standard olive oil, which is amazing. Like that just itself is a very high quality olive oil, but they have these super olive oils, and they're like limited release. It's a whole thing because literally they own 500 acres and groves of these olive oil trees. And so they only do once a year. The guy goes back to Greece to go process it with his family to make this amazing high quality olive oil. That is the one I use. That is the one I recommend. I know other people have recommended other types of olive oil, but incorporating more of that in, super helpful. Next, and I've talked about this in other videos. So that's number 3. Number was the olive oil. Number 4, I've talked about this as just supplements. Nutrafil, you can get this off of my Amazon shopping list, link down below. There's 2 different kinds of actual pills. The pills, if you're worried, I know I get so many questions on the pills. Oh, fiddle faddle. Oh, I had pulled the pill so I could show you guys. Did I just drop it? I dropped it. Well, now there's a random Nutrafil pill floating around in my studio. There's 2 kinds. If you're over 40 and if you're under 40, or like 45. There's 2 different age groups. So just make sure you get the right age group. They have for men, they have for women. Totally easy to take. I, again, always, before taking any supplements, talk to your doctor. People have recently asked me, are you still taking these? No, I've stopped taking these because I haven't had hair loss issues with it. Again, we know 2 to 3 months after we see hair loss. So I've been mindful of it, of like, what does my hair loss look like? When I'm in the shower, am I having clumps? And before, my clumps were way bigger than this, like big clumps. Normal hair loss is going to happen. And I forget what the fact is of how many strands of hair per day we lose. Like, that's actually kind of normal. So I don't take this anymore because for me, I'm not having hair loss anymore. At the beginning, I did because of that substantial weight loss. And now I'm doing, if I lose a half of a pound to 2 pounds per week, that's my goal. Before, like my first week, I lost if you go back to my beginning Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, and it's the same thing for Zepbound 2.5 milligrams. Lost a ton that first 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. It's like a small child. It's crazy. Some of that's poop, some of that's water weight, like it's not all fat loss. But this is something that I don't continue to take because I don't feel like I need to, but definitely did and recommend it. They also have, meaning Nutrafil, have this growth activating serum. Hold on, let's get that in focus. It's a serum you literally put on the roots of your hair. I'm not going to put it in my hair right now because I don't want to rewash my hair. But it's just like this, and then you just kind of go in there and put it in there too. That could be a great addition if you're really, let's get back in focus here, camera. Sometimes my camera freaks out. There we go. Sometimes, what was it we're going through? It was saying in here it has to renew your scalp. I've definitely gone to hairstylists too, of where they can do really great scalp massages as well, and they can put products in there, but this has just been easier for me to do at my house and less expensive too. So that is another option if you want to do both the supplement, or I'll use my Isomains. I used both the supplement and this serum, growth activator serum, hair serum, and I liked it. I recommend it. That's what I used. Now, one thing currently that I've been doing, that I've been taking a ton of collagen when I first started my journey, like after this whole hair thing. I was like, I need to get on my collagen game because collagen helps with nail, skin, and hair. And just in general with my skin, like trying to prevent an Ozempic face and like loose skin. It's my primary motivation. I was taking, and if you see in previous videos, you can click like and subscribe, go binge watch all of my beginning videos. There's hundreds of them of where I talked about vital proteins. Their stuff is good. You can get off my Amazon list, link down below. However, I have switched over to Clean Simple Eats collagen because I like the taste better. It's a taste preference. I think as long as you find a collagen you enjoy and like, then that's great. For me, this is the one I enjoy and like. Why? First, you could always sample, and I'll link down below. They've given us a discount code QUEEN directly on their website from Flow. For this type of collagen, there's 6. And then you can sample them to see which one you like the best. I personally am obsessed with. We're going to go on vacation here again for like the 10 millionth time, which is great. I've traveled a lot for my job. And then for personal, recently we've been traveling a ton. So we are going to be going out of town, and I was packing my suitcase. I'm like, my collagen, it's coming with me. I have certain things that absolutely come with me. It's the peach mango. If you put it in unsweet tea, tastes like peach tea. It's only 36 calories, but it's 9 grams of protein, but it's the collagen protein in there. It's grass-fed, hydrolyzed collagens types 1, 2, and 3. It's really good. So you just add it to 1 scoop of this into 16 to 20 ounces of water, or one of these packages to 16 or 20 ounces of water. And they have sour watermelon, peach mango, cucumber lime, blue Hawaii, blackberry lemonade. I love the blackberry lemonade. It does turn the glass pink. And so when I was putting in my water, I'm like, why is it pink? It's blackberry lemonade. So just FYI, it tastes like lemonade. It's really good. And it's fun. It's cute. And with Zepbound and Mounjaro, I'm not eating as much because of the appetite suppression. So I personally like having more beverages. This is a fun beverage, but it's an advanced collagen formula, which is what, and I know many of you guys can relate. The vital proteins, you can get them flavored or unflavored. The unflavored, I don't want to put in my coffee. I just wanted to have my coffee in the morning. I just wanted to have my coffee. So this has been a great way to have my coffee in the morning, and then have later on in the afternoon after I've eaten some food. It's a great way, and I usually only take supplements after I've eaten. It's a great way to get collagen in to help with hair, skin, and nails. My next thing too is, you guys know I love talking about my daily supplements. They've evolved over my journey as I get healthier. I have been switching in and trying different things, but one of the things that has remained consistent for me for a while now is Gem Bites. They're daily vitamins. And they're bite-sized, they're really high ingredients. It does take some time to see the results of taking a high-quality supplement, so you got to give it some time. And again, going back to having hair loss, you see it after 2 to 3 months. It's going to take probably 2 to 3 months to see the hair come back. So same thing with having like it's going to take a hot second to incorporate these in. I love these. They're so good. They're so good. One of our group in our free encouragement group was talking about, there's the bites, about how she's been having these with her afternoon coffee as like her afternoon snack. So she'll have it with a cup of decaf coffee. I'm like, I'm totally doing that. I'm jacking your, whoever mentioned that in our free group, thank you. I'm totally doing that today. As like my snack is going to be having like a moment to pause, because they taste really good. And it's super high quality ingredients, probiotics and prebiotics in there too. Again, always talk to your doctor before starting any supplements or your healthcare provider. But that for me is my daily supplement in terms of daily vitamins on there. So I'm hoping that some of these things help. Some other things to consider is, for me, what I needed at the beginning of my GLP-1 journey is not what I need now. Like eventually I'm going to be on maintenance. And I know many of you are approaching maintenance, or if you're just starting your journey, know that this may not be the permanent thing. Like we have opposable thumbs because we evolved, right? So you may evolve in this journey with GLP-1 medication, with Mounjaro, Zepbound, or if you're on WEGOVY or SEMAGLUTIDE compound, that you, just because you take it now may not be what you take later on. And just because my needs at the beginning may be heavily focused in on side effects, like if you're barfing your brains out, now I'm being extreme on that, but with taking GLP-1 medications like Zepbound, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, semaglutide, there's three gastrointestinal things: diarrhea, constipation, or nausea. Very common. There's other severe ones, but at less than 1% have things like gallbladder issues, pancreatitis, appendicitis, that familial thyroid cancer. It's in your family genetics. Less than 1%. So having these standard side effects, if you're going diarrhea a lot, you're expelling out stuff. Same thing if you're vomiting. Now, most people, maybe nausea, and you may not actually vomit, but having things go out, or constipation, having things stay in. I've done other videos on those, also on my Amazon shopping list. I encourage people, if you're just starting, Zepbound 2.5 milligrams, Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, or your beginning dose for Tirzepatide or semaglutide compound, to have that. For me, I'm a good Girl Scout. On my honor, I will try. As a Girl Scout, I just had stuff in my house. I didn't want to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my gosh, my tummy really hurts and I have nothing, right? And so for me, and I had, this was the other mistake. is I thought I had stuff, but it was all expired. So I had gotten off a whole bunch of fresh. So on my Amazon shopping list, make it easy peasy lemon squeezy for yourself too. Can you get those Clean Simple Eats on Amazon? Yeah, but get the discount. Use the discount code QUEEN. Take advantage of that discount directly from Clean Simple Eats. And they do also have other things there that you can't get on Amazon, like the clear, it's literally called clear protein. It's protein drinks. It's crazy. It's literally grass-fed, what's the ingredient? Grass-fed whey protein, but it's clear. So they have things, 20 grams of protein in this can, only 90 calories. It's a great way to get protein in. I digress. That's not the point of today's video. Although I've been trying all their stuff. I'm like, don't tell my husband, I bought hundreds of dollars worth of products to test. And so I've been loving trying them. Hair, the other thing, and this is my next tip, was extensions. As a lady, if you want to add extensions in, no shame in that game, honey. I'll link down some extensions down below. It's easy to pop those clips in. I don't have extensions, like this is all my real hair, but in other videos I've had extensions in. I get very hot with them, which is one of the reasons why I choose not to wear them now while I'm filming, because it's hot here in the studio. We've got lights everywhere. It gets very hot in here. And so usually the air conditioning is blasting, but those clips, they clip in hair extensions. Just know that they can make like a little bump right in here, so you can strategically place them. You can blend them with your hair color. If you have dark brown hair, light hair, whatever, light brown hair, whatever color hair you have. They even have gray if you have light gray hair or dark gray hair. They're easy to clip in, and it's a way to add some volume in there. The other thing in terms of hairstyles, I already mentioned dry shampoo naturally just like poofs out the crown of your hair, just makes it naturally more volumized. Just make sure you go like this to get rid of if it looks like white powder, and don't breathe that in. Like I'll spray it and run to the other side of the room and then take a breath over there. Don't breathe that stuff in. Hair clips that, oh, and then the other thing was styling my hair. I would use, and I didn't bring it over, I would just use bobby pins or things like that, because you can take a bobby pin and poof and cover if there was like a hole. I had over here a hole in my hair, like it's where you could see like holes. Part of it was gray, and my gray will make it more pronounced to look like more holes, but I've recently dyed my hair, so I can show you guys. There's some of the grays are back though, but in here, so I can take bobby pins and strategically place them to cover my holes in my hair when I had missing hair. So that's something to think about too. Just get some clips. You can get some cute little clips just to kind of clip over while you're waiting for your hair to grow back. Or for example, I knew right in here was where my holes were. I would not pull my hair back on this side. I would draw attention over to this side to pull my hair back, so people would look over at this side, as opposed this would stay down. So just some helpful tips. Hey, you're gonna leave those helpful tips too. And also I was super cognizant if I pulled my hair back up in a ponytail or up in a bun, that you could see over here. There's also hair dye spray that you can use for gray hairs. Have you guys seen that? There was some famous politician that was like sweating and it was melting down his face. I forget who that was. It's hysterical though. And then I was terrified because I was using the stuff that you spray. I'm like, oh my God, is that gonna happen to me? Where like you sweat and it comes down your face. That never happened to me. But there's powders you can get, little spritzes that are the color of your hair to make it look, what was it on Real Housewives? Joe Gorga or Joe Giudice, one of them, if you guys are Bravo fans. Same thing, they had like where they were sweating and it came down. But you can put them in over the holes. Like I could put it in here to make it look darker. And then that also helps to cover it too. Just make sure if you're like in a sweating area or going to a swimming pool or things like that, like just be mindful. And you can always wear ball caps and things like that. I do think the biggest scary part was like, is it gonna come back? So talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare provider, ask them their opinion on all this too. This was the word of the day. I feel like I'm from Sesame Street with the Count. The word of the day, telogenethylinium. I mispronounced that. That's not how you pronounce it, but you can screenshot that. Go save this video, share it back to yourself, and then screenshot that, and you can ask them more about it too and confirm, right? Like these studies are great from Harvard and NIH, and you can confirm all my sources too. So I hope that helps you. I hope this has been all-encompassing for Tirzepatide hair loss, and that you can walk away with some tangible solutions, hopefully feeling uplifted, that you've got an action game plan. And as always, your accountability question: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? to your emoji of the day, because we always do an emoji of the day, is hair. Or like an emoji with hair in it. And that will tell me that you made it this far into the video. I will pray over you if you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thought. I want to know you. If you're watching my videos all the way through, like, I really want to know you. I have thousands of friends and on the internet that I've never met, but if we're connecting through this video, I appreciate you and I value you. And hopefully my story, my whole thing is hopefully the pain that I've gone through, hopefully help gets turned into good to encourage somebody else. So click that like and subscribe button. Share this with your bestie. If they're just starting a GLP-1 journey, share this with them. If you've seen Golden Girls, share with me, Chesta. Share this video with them, and that way they can see some of the other videos on side effects. This is hair loss with the Mounjaro side effects and Zepbound side effects. Totally normal. A lot of people go through with it, but I don't think people talk about it as much because it can be embarrassing, and for guys and for gals too. Sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shop, and count my blessings because life is delicious. Love y'all. Bye, guys.